So remember the other week when I was just like, oh, I'm trying to find an answer to this problem, trying to find a solution, I know there's some way of doing it. There's some way of going about it and actually succeeding with it. I'm just like perplexed. I'm just like, I don't know what the answer is. And then I found some things here, some things there, and just, it was never anything that could be implemented properly to have the type of effect that I wanted to have, the type of proper implementation. Well, I did find some sort of workaround not long ago, found some sort of way to make something work. But it still wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? Like, it was good, it worked, but it wasn't really where I wanted to be. And there was like problems with it. There were some, issues with it. Well, I finally found a better workaround that's actually sufficient, that actually works almost perfectly the way that I intend for it to be. Oh my gosh, just such a complex mess, and it took so long to finally find it. Like, I was searching for so long online to try to find something. I was just really, like, I would just have random thoughts, just like, oh, wait, what if I try this with that and this and that and that? Let's see if that works. And then the answer, the thing that I came up with, it was relatively simple to implement. I was like, let me try this. And then I did it, and it was like, it worked. It worked. So it's such a great feeling. It really is such a great feeling. So to put it simply, what I was trying to work on here, so it was not programming, okay? Because I'm like really good at the programming, but this is like almost like not really anything related to programming, but it's, imagine that for like audio. So if you're editing an audio, okay, whether it be music or stuff like that. So I had multiple audio clips, okay, on 2 different tracks. And what I wanted to do is apply some sort of effect only when something else is, like, the other track is like talking, okay? Well, if there's something on one track, I want the other track to only have that type of effect when the other track has something, you know what I mean? So I know of a very simple way of going about that, and I was, using that sort of thing. And, that's perfectly fine and all, but then it was like there were some problems with the initial way of going about it. And the problems were that, it wouldn't apply it correctly, or maybe it would end up applying it like too much of it. And when it's like, I wanted to like cut off at this point, it's like, if I have a range of how I want it to be, once it reaches the lower end of that range, I don't want it to have that effect. And if it reaches the upper range of that, I don't, there's no effect applied. So it's kind of a range, but there was no range. There was no way I could customize that. I was like, how the heck do I do this? How the heck do I do this? And again, searching for hours, many different solutions. And the complex way, it was just like, the 2 audio tracks. Both of them had to be routed to 2 different like audio buses, okay, that mimic them, with different effects applied to each of those buses, and then that they have an output into a different bus and different output. Then from there, you have to apply the effect on one, apply the effect on the other one, but invert it so you're only getting the effect properly, and then you have to like mix and match that with the main audio. So you have like multiple different audio sources, but it's inverted, meaning, what's a good way of putting that? So if you take the same exact audio source, you put it, in your audio editor, and then you paste in another one, okay, exactly as it was, it's going to be twice as loud. But if you invert one of them, it inverts the phase of it, and then you paste that in there, you're going to get complete silence, because it cancels each other out. So that was essentially the whole premise that I was trying to go for here, because I want it to be canceled out when it reaches like the lower end of that threshold. You know what I mean? So I figured out some way that if it reaches the lower end of that threshold of what I'm doing, it inverts the phase, and it has it so it cancels it out, so it's not applying that effect anymore. You know what I mean? Very complex thing. Oh my gosh, just getting it all situated, getting it all correct, and I finally got it. And I would say it's like 95% perfect, if not, close to 100. Oh my gosh, it was just so complex. I had to like manipulate audio, apply different filters and effects, manipulate some of the audio tracks and buses around, all this sort of stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh. Again, whatever you put your mind to, you can accomplish, you can succeed with it, because all you got to do is just keep trying, just keep thinking, and you will eventually get the solution. Did that solution come from anyone else outside? No, it did not. The solution came from up here. I may have looked online trying to find some sort of idea, whatever, but none of it helped. Not a single thing that I looked up online helped. Instead, it was everything that I did myself. I figured it out myself how to do this. Like, okay, what we gotta do here? Multiple audio tracks, inverting the one, having the effect only apply when it's, in the slower, how can we do that? How can we do that? Think about it. Problem solve. Complex problem here. Got it. Got the solution. It's much easier when it's programming, because you can manipulate the code. This, I could not manipulate any sort of code. But in a way, it was like programming, because I'm editing the audio, to make it. It is almost like a program, but not quite. So that was all. Let me know what your huge, major accomplishment is that you have succeeded with, this major, complex thing, and I'll catch you all later. So you all take care of a great one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.